One of the biggest problems I see in roofing sales is reps skipping steps. They rush the inspection, they don't build value, and then they wonder why price becomes the objection. So in this video, I want to walk you through how we use this tool called Arrivee to force the process, track what actually works, and build a sales system that scales.
I'll give you a little trick about salespeople. Here's a little hack for sales. If the salesperson is frequently on time or late, but they're always on time or early leaving, what does that tell you? What are they doing? They aren't spending enough time right. They're skipping steps. They're going, okay, here's the pictures. Here's the price. Want to go with it? No? Why? I got to think about it. Perfect. Think about it. See you later. They're skipping the inspection. They're not annotating photos. They're not presenting the need. They're not building the value in excess of price on the estimate. They're not asking for the business in a strategic way. They're not overcoming objections. They're just going, damage, sign this. And then their close rate will reflect that. And so I found this thing called Arrivee. This is really powerful from a sales perspective. What we do is we have to build out task template. So you have a task template for an inspection. An inspection follows a process, right? You're on your way, you've arrived, your ladder set up, you got to maybe say preparing inspection or ready to present. Well, now we know that guy's walking up to the door. He's going to be 45 minutes. And there's a message that says, hey, I'm coming up to the door. Put your dog away. Because now they know that you're walking up to the door. They're kept in the loop and the customer can get these custom messages. So we write those custom messages in here. So you have your default messages, which come with the system, but then you can have like install safety setup complete. And there's a message. Our safety setup is now complete. We'll be shortly beginning preparation to protect your property during the installation. Stay tuned for more updates. And customers remarked upon that in the reviews. And they have the company cam. So then they can also see the pictures. And we're making this into an experience. Is it overkill? You bet your ass it is. And the nice thing is like at any given point in time in this day, 11:27, I can see where these guys are. I can see them by their face. I can see where they're at, where they're off to, what they're doing. I can see which tasks that they're on. I can also see their route for the day. So I can see, oh, that's where this person is going today. And we can set this up in an intelligent way so that it's like, okay, this is the order of their route today. And to make sure we get good data, what we do is we take information from this and put it back into HubSpot. Because if you have on your inspection form, like attic inspection, or we annotated 70% of our photos, like if we have anything we say like check the box that you did this thing, what that allowed us to do years ago was say, I want to show all the deals that were ever created in the system where the attic inspection was marked as yes. And I want to see all the deals in the system where the attic inspected was marked as no or was never checked. And then what was the close rate difference on that? And we're talking over thousands and thousands of deals, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue because we put the system in place in a lot of places. It would say, what was the difference in the close rate on this? Like how much of a difference did it make? And we were able to see the things that are actual overkill that make no difference. And we're able to see the things that are not overkill and make a big difference. That's why I care more about annotating 70% of photos than I care about getting in the attic. Because the annotating of 70% of photos made 200% difference compared to the getting in the attic. We wanted to use the fact that not only do we get this data in Arrivee, but we want to spit it back to HubSpot so we have a single source of truth. But that meant that we had to go over and above and say, well, we got to write this code to take these external pieces of information, like see number of attic vents, number of pipe jacks, company cam checklist completely complete, satellite dish, did you get in the attic space? All these things are here. Right? So we pull all this gobbledygook of text is saying is that when this form is complete, go back from Arrivee to HubSpot and take the data in these fields and put it in the data in HubSpot. So then we can filter HubSpot data by what happened in Arrivee. And that way we get these really good abilities to try and investigate what actually makes a difference. But if they don't fill out the form, the data doesn't matter. Right? Because if they only fill out the form 90% of the time, well, then there's a 10% margin of error. But if you want to build a fast growing, highly profitable, big business that you can sell to your kids, sell to private equity, that you can sit back, put your feet up, look at the dashboard and know how your business is doing, you have to decrease your tolerance for mediocrity, which is hard to do as a leader and a CEO, but it can be done, it should be done. And if you hire us, it will be done, but you can do it by yourself too. But the rule goes back to whatever tools you put in place, you have to have a process for how they're used. And if you put those processes in place, you have to make sure they're adopted. If you do this right, you can have clear communication with your customers, clear communication with your employees. You can have clearly set job responsibilities, and you can create something that eventually starts to run on autopilot.